Everyone, my mom wants to say hi. You have to go over here.
Oh, oops.
Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. Maybe, depending on how your question is. What's going on, North Nation? It's your girl Chantel, aka Thetellietube, and welcome back to my channel. What's gonna happen in today's video is I'm gonna take a handful of your questions and I'm going to answer them. A lot of the questions are Raptors related or related to me, and that's how I like it. Someone put their cover in my Curious Cat, and I was just like, no. I've selected 10 questions. I jotted them down here in my notes, so we're gonna read it off my ugly iPhone 8. Who is your designer? Everything that you see on this channel is made by me. Like I said before, I'm a graphic designer. I always see people comment on my pictures whenever I post on Instagram, and they're like,
oh, if you need a channel banner, an intro and an outro, or a logo, just DM me, for rates.
I'm not like dissing their art or nothing like that, but sometimes I go down their page because I'm curious. It looks cheap. You know, when you get to work with yourself, you can work in your own style. It's like, you know, when you go to the gym and they recommend you don't use the machines, you use the free weights. When you use the machines, you're doing one thing a certain way. But when you use the free weights, like, you can lift it how you want because everyone's different. So yeah, being your own graphic designer, it's really great. Plus I saved a lot of money. I'm always repping my fellow designers, but when it comes to actually making my own stuff, who would you have in the starting lineup? I'm just gonna assume it's on the Raptors. I'm gonna have Kyle Lowry at point guard, maybe Fred VanVleet at shooting guard. Small forward, I'd have OG. Power forward, obviously Pascal Siakam. And center, I would have Marc Gasol, because I feel like Serge is better coming off the bench. Norm is definitely better coming off the bench. It's good to have a lot of depth on the bench too. You don't want to deplete the energy at the beginning. And I feel like that's how the Raptors dominate. Which players do you think should be traded? Y'all just send me up for failure. Personally, I don't think anyone should be traded because, I mean, you have a few bad games and, you know, everyone wants you traded. I would leave this question to Masai Ujiri. I'm not in charge of who gets traded and it's not my say. Everybody obviously wants a certain player on the team to be traded, and I see his name trending on Twitter after every game. Whether we win or lose, the guy's name is trending and it's always bad comments. And this player is Patrick Baca. There's a few questionable plays where he screws up. People are like,
oh, why is he even still on? He's screwing up everything.
Obviously, there's a reason why he's still on. We won 15 games in a row, but people still find a way to bash the guy. How I see it is that he's a playmaker. Like, he doesn't have to score. Just get on defense or just pass the ball, make that extra pass, and really and truly, the guy has 3 rings. This guy has championship experience. Which players would you like to see on our roster? Giannis, next question. How old were you when you went to your first Raptors game and who were they playing against? Okay, I don't know how old I was in grade 3, but the first game I went to was a fluke because my brother was supposed to go to the game and he got sick on the way there, so they had to turn back, and then I ended up going. This was when the court was purple, and I'm not 100% sure who we played. I want to say the Celtics, but I'm not sure. It was new, you know, like everything's so tiny on TV, but then when you walk into the building, everything is big and all up in your face, and I'm like, wow,
this place is huge.
So yeah, that was my first game. Everyone who I've asked, when I asked when was the last game you went to, have always said that the last time they went to a game was when the court was purple. Not like retro throwback nights like this season. I'm talking about like Chris Bosh, Vince Carter days. So it'd be lit in there. Listen, if you want to tell me about your first game, just who is your favorite player on the team? P.S. I love your channel. Thank you. Favorite player is Pascal Siakam, and it'll always be Pascal Siakam. Thoughts on Bench Mob 2.0? Woo! All right. When we had all these injuries, everyone was like,
oh, the Raptors are done, the Raptors are this, the Raptors are that.
And then all of a sudden, Bench Mob 2.0 comes out, and they're like, shut the f*** up, let us do our job, and we're gonna show y'all who the f*** we are. Bench Mob 2.0 stepped and y'all mother hate to see it. Why do you always put "Don't worry, Maya, we're just buds" every time Kareem is in a vlog? If you haven't already like figured it out, Maya is Kareem's girlfriend, and yes, I've met the girl and everything is cool. Kareem and I go way back to high school. Kareem's like a brother to me. I don't want to give away the joke, but it's an inside joke between the three of us. Who is your favorite Raptor of all time? Of all time, I'd say... My lips are like super chapped. I didn't really watch the Raptors back in like the Vince Carter, Chris Bosh era. I was more of the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry era. But if it had to come down between DeMar and Pascal, I'd probably say Pascal. Which player is standing out the most? Terrence Davis II or Terrence Davis Jr., TD2? I've heard about his story where he actually told teams not to draft him after no one drafted him in the first round, and he was going to make them believe by being an undrafted player. Obviously, Masai seen that and probably was like, what the hell? How did no one pick up this guy in the draft? In the first round. So Masai went and scooped him up. TD2 is like Fred VanVleet. If you want to ask me any more questions, you can comment them down below if you'd like, but if you want to stay anonymous, I've linked my Curious Cat in the description, so just ask me your questions. I plan on doing another Q&A again because everyone's gotta have something to ask. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my Raptors vlogs and videos. I'ma see y'all later. I am out.